Hello, friends. Welcome to Movie Magic. Today's movie is a suspense thriller, The Invisible Guardian. This girl is so beautiful that even her mother feels envious of her. She ruthlessly buries the girl in flour. But what is her mistake if she is so beautiful? One early misty morning, a female body is found in the forest by the police, and this body is completely naked. Shockingly, her hairs are neatly combed, and her face is still covered with makeup, and a cookie is put between her thighs by the murderer. Sarah, a police officer, immediately realizes that it is her hometown's special cookie. 6 weeks ago, similar cases were found in her hometown as well. The police suspect that there is only one murderer behind all these cases, and thus Sarah is sent to investigate these cases in her hometown. Sarah hasn't been back there for many years. She drives back there, and those long-forgotten memories slowly start to come back to her. Sarah's mother was a well-known pastry cook, and she could make delectable sweets. However, she suffered from a severe mental disorder because of which she hated beautiful girls. She used to think that beauty was a sin, and therefore Sarah, being a beautiful lady, disappointed her. Her mother vented all of her dissatisfaction with her life on Sarah and used to vigorously comb her hair and cut her hair angrily. Sarah got upset and huddled up next to her, sobbing. Dad noticed her and reassured her. After her mother found out about it, she was worried that Sarah would take her husband away from her. So she started beating her mercilessly and ruthlessly buried her in flour. Her father didn't want to see his daughter go through these difficult things anymore. He then sent Sarah to her aunt's house, and after that, Sarah grew up there in a safe environment at her aunt's home. She never saw her mother again. After Sarah returns to her hometown, she comes to her aunt's house immediately. Aunt's house is the only place making her feel the love of family. Sarah shows the cookie found on the dead body to her sister. Mother's talent is passed down to her sister. She is also a pastry cook. She got divorced recently. She tasted the cookie and said that there are only 4 pastry shops in that area that can make this kind of cookie. Her sister's expressions are cold, as if she is talking to a stranger. Sarah's investigation into the case is still ongoing. During this time, a young girl named Annie has been murdered, and a similar cookie is found on her thigh as well. Sarah visits Annie's home to conduct an investigation. Annie's mother says that her daughter was a good girl. Sarah, on the other hand, notices some sexy photos on Annie's PC. She also found out that Annie had dated a married man. Sarah recognizes that these victims have had messed up personal lives, and the murderer wants to purify them. So the murderer used to drag them into the river and wash them up, and then used to make their hair, and then do their makeup. Sarah still can't find the murderer, and the only conclusion that can be drawn is that the murderer is a man of boundless power, and he hates beautiful women with messed up lives. A similar case happened 14 years ago, but the technology was not developed at that time, and therefore, the murderer wasn't found. Now, only a limited number of hints are remaining of the past murder case. Sarah and her companions are confused. Sarah returns to her aunt's house at midnight, and even her sister is there. Sarah sits down, and her sister mockingly tells her that Mom has been in the hospital for a long time. Has Sarah even visited her? Every day and night, she looks after her mother. Sarah left everything behind and came to another place to work many years ago. The atmosphere grew tense. Sarah reminisces about her childhood and remembers what her mother has done to her. It appears to be comparable to the murderer's method of operation. Sarah can't help but suspect her mother. But her mother was in a mental institution for a long time, and she is suffering from a mental illness. Attacking these women with such conditions is impossible. The doctor then tells Sarah that her mother has been ill for a long time. She used to attack others occasionally, and only her brother-in-law could calm her mother down. Does this have anything to do with her brother-in-law? Sarah gets in her car and heads out to find out about her brother-in-law right away, but accidentally runs into a car accident. After getting out of the car, she makes her way to her brother-in-law's house. She just then witnessed her brother-in-law doing something to a young lady. Sarah is shocked seeing this. Then he tells her that he is just trying to educate these shady ladies on how to be an innocent person. Just when he's going to kill Sarah, her sister comes with a gun and shoots him down. She had saved Sarah's life. She says she suspected that her husband was cheating on her, so she came here to catch this cheater. The police also arrived at that time. They found the bones of those missing girls. Although the case has many missing pieces, still police believe that the real murderer is the brother-in-law. Sarah returns to her normal routine. But is the murderer being caught? I don't think so. In terms of the conclusion, most people believe that the first murderer was not the brother-in-law, but the sister. That is why she kills him before he was going to tell something. Thus, she feared that he would reveal the truth. The sister has been impacted by her mother since she was a kid. She also hates beautiful ladies, and as a result, she used to kill them. The brother-in-law wanted to please her sister, and thus he does the same thing for her. There is also another way of putting it. The mother and the brother-in-law are real murderers. Since Sarah was a kid, Sarah's mother had long suspected that her husband had romantic feelings for her. As a result, she thrashed Sarah and hoped her husband could send Sarah away to protect her. But after she left, her mother's mentality gradually distorted, and she killed these ladies due to her mental condition, and then by chance met the brother-in-law. They then collaborated on such murders, and that's also why the mother listened to the brother-in-law. Which endings do you believe is right? Based on your learning, what do you think is the truth? Do share us about your thoughts in the comments section below, and see you in the next one. Sayonara, folks.